Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a video that I've been planning to do for so long and just hadn't gotten to. Pardon the husk in my voice. I just got back from Vegas for my bachelorette weekend and it is so dry out there. We all went home with a little bit of sickness and I don't really drink, and of course I drank out there a little bit, so that played a part in it too. But I'm really excited about today's video because we are reviewing the new Marc Jacobs Style Icon All About Last Night palette. This is the 240 About Last Night palette. It is the brand new limited edition Marc Jacobs palette. It is $100 or $99, but basically $100 once you pay the tax on it. And it is gold, which is beautiful. The one that came out last year, I believe, was the exact same price, and it was black. So I first of all love that this is gold. So to open it, you just push this guy in and it pops right open. And my favorite thing about this palette, first off, is the mirror, which we will talk about later. But it is giant. Look, you can see yourself and my lights. I mean, it is the size of my face. I've never seen a palette with this big of a mirror, and I really appreciate that. You get 4 rows of 5 different eyeshadows, and it is a combination of mattes, shimmers, cools, warms, all kinds of fun things. We are going to get into swatches of the palette first, and then you're going to see me do this eye makeup look on my eyes along with all the swatches and everything, because I wanted to show you swatches on my hand, but then I also really wanted to test the blendability so that I could give you my honest review on this palette. So let's go ahead and get into the swatches. So on the first row, first of all, there are no shades on this palette. It is just your rows. So the first shadow is this cream color, and unfortunately it was kind of patchy and didn't have a lot of pigment. I actually didn't love this whole top row. You're seeing me swatch these now, but I liked the medium brown. I thought that looked good, but it was so chalky. I was really surprised about that. And the third shadow in the cream color just didn't have hardly any pigment. The pink I had to rub really hard to get pigment, and the last one is a really pretty shimmery champagne highlight, which I did really enjoy. My first favorite, like, amazing shadow in this palette was that bright gold shade. I absolutely loved it, and this second row might be my favorite row in the palette. I love that shimmery gold. I love the shimmery kind of opaly, pinky, corally kind of color right after the gold, and then that white is so unique. I absolutely love it. It is like a white, purple, blue, duochrome, shimmery kind of color, and then you have a true kind of, this is like a patina or a like a MAC patina type shadow. It's a really pretty, soft, shimmery taupe color. And then you have that pink on the end, which I think is a throwaway color. I couldn't get hardly any pigment out of this. I don't really understand that color in the palette. Definitely not my favorite shade. It literally basically had no pigment to it. Then in the third row, you have that really pretty, this reminds me of a lighter version of MAC Amber Lights. Or even like a pressed MAC Melon pigment. It's so pretty. It's got this like gold, but it also has a little bit of that peachy undertone to it, which makes it really gorgeous. And then next to it, I wasn't sure about the shadow because the gold is kind of chunky in it. It has this kind of chunky gold glitter, but it's really, really pretty, and you'll see me apply that on my lid here in a second. And then you have this really pretty cool blue, purple toned, periwinkle toned, and then that matte gray, which was patchy, I didn't love. The only thing about that pretty blue color is it is so chalky. I couldn't believe how chalky a lot of these shadows were. And then you have that kind of pretty light purple taupe at the end of the fourth row, or the third row. And then we move on to the fourth row, and you have 3 mattes in a row. You've got a purple, a gray, and a black. I was really impressed with the black in this row, about how dark and deep and black that shadow was. Even the glittery black next to it was really pretty, and that medium brown at the end that's matte, I really liked it. That reddish brown color, I thought they did a really good job there. And then applying these, I will say the cool gray color that I'm applying on my lid first into my crease was definitely a disappointment. I think that it was really hard to blend. It was kind of streaky. It wasn't really, really bad, but I had to work really hard to get it to apply evenly, and so I decided to warm it up a little bit with that first top row medium brown shadow, that second shadow in the first row, and I really liked the way that looked. That color was very easy to blend and looked really pretty and reminds me of a lot of like medium brown eyeshadows that I love. It was nothing like spectacular, but it did the trick. And then I moved on to the outer third of my lid, and this is where I feel like I hit the jackpot on this shadow. This is the shadow on the third row with that chunky gold glitter in it, that brown shadow that I wasn't quite sure about. This is so pigmented. It's so blendable. It looked beautiful. It's a really like deep brown. It's definitely deeper on my eye than I thought it was going to be, which I actually really enjoyed. It makes for a really good outer corner crease color and lower lash line color, which I wasn't really expecting, and this blended out really, really well. I decided to put that kind of melon champagne gold color on the inner third of my lid, and then I just wasn't really happy with it, and so you'll see here in a second that I do go back with that bright gold. I kept looking at it and I just really wanted to know what that bright gold would look like on my eye, and I wanted to play with it, so that's what I did. I added that medium brown shade I used for my crease and that dark brown on my lower lash line, and I put a little bit of that gold in there too, and then I also used that really pretty white opalescent cream color for my inner corner highlight, and I want to try to add this on my cheekbones and see what it looks like, but that's what it looked like on my eyes, you guys. You saw how the shadows blended. I hope that was really helpful for you. I like doing the swatches and then also showing you how the makeup applies so that you can see it in action. My overall thoughts on this palette are specifically that I don't know when I would reach for it. And usually that doesn't really happen to me, especially with a palette like this where you get so many different shades. But I think it's lacking a matte dark brown. I think it has too many cool colors and not enough warm colors, and I just think it has some throwaway shades in here. I mean, it's got 1, 2, 3 like cream colors that I just don't think are necessary. It does have some pretty like light shimmer browns and taupes, but I just don't understand why they don't have a good matte deep brown. I would have gone with something really different and really user-friendly, especially for $100, something that everybody can wear, and I think this palette is so cool toned. I don't know, I just don't really understand it. I would have gone with like a burgundy or something. Like, this purple is so cool. I don't see myself using that ever. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth $100 at the end of the day, which kind of makes me sad because I had such high hopes for this palette, and I just think the eyeshadows are really inconsistent. A lot of them are super chalky, although I will say I had pretty much no fallout, even though they were chalky, no fallout on my eyes, which was great. But for the, especially the light shadows, they have pretty much no pigment. I would have tossed those and put in something that could actually be used. Those are my thoughts on this palette, you guys. If you still want to pick it up, I mean, you might still really like it. Again, like I said, I will definitely use it to create this look again and other looks similar to it, but I do think it's missing a few things that make it not worth $100. I think the Morphe 350 palette is better. That's my personal opinion, and that's a lot less money. So give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. As always, I love you. Leave me any requests, comments, things below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.